Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, now welcome back for the Reframing Mindset podcast. My name is Constant Brooks. In this episode, I talk about chemistry because, well, my degree is biochemistry. But that's that's not the chemistry that I'm speaking about. Chemistry again in the business of science. Because as I said, you never know if I will execute on these stuff. I know, one thing I realized not doing this 9 to 5 was that. So what happened was that one of the weeks, episode will come out after that. Should be after that week. After that episode drops, I don't know what I realized that what happened was that one of the weeks now my supervisor got fired. And it's like, what happened was that that supervisor had to build rapport with her. It's not she when I came in, she let me off a sudden. I had to, prove my worth, and then when I proved my worth now, then she started, become more friendly. But what happened was that she suddenly got fired, and then there was this new lady that came in. And what happened now, when she came in, I was out of the training phase. I was out of the training phase now, so I was doing the real work. So what happened is that the supervisor have this that came in now have this intuition that okay, I'm up, I'm out of the training. I'm supposed to be competent. But what happened was that on the first day, I I I got some bad calls. So it's like she saw me. Well, it's not the first day, but it was the first official day when she took over. And like she saw me on the wrong foot. And it's like that not only once but twice she saw me on the wrong foot. And what happened that I realized that many big businesses people get fired because not because they're bad at job or stuff like that, but it's because the chemistry between the manager and the person is was not properly established, and something that I realized, something's suddenly like a firing of a supervisor can really just shift up the chemistry where that a new person or a person that that person supervised is on the wrong foot with a new supervisor, and they have a lot of potentials, but because the new supervisor didn't have enough time to actually build chemistry with the new person, they go off you know we start off on the wrong foot like why did they might have the false impression that okay, this person can't do the job, and then what happens is that they don't get to see the full potential of that person rising. So I said that's something I have to look into, where something like that, where where okay, in the business world, people, I guess if we reach that point where people have to get fired, the transition of the new person has to, that there's a system. There has to be a system for that as well. Because what happens is that to me, as a science, you can't joke with it. A little joke with the science cause millions of people dying, bro. Every pandemic, a simple slip up can cause millions of people dying. So you have to really, you have to make sure that there's competence at every level. And this is one of the other things in the science of business that you're going to really need. Chemistry. People, the supervisor has to be able to. One thing I realized about the supervisor that got fired was that she was not soft. She was serious, but you know, by me pushing through that stage and then see her friendly side, it made me actually appreciate her seriousness more. But if you are a person that training, you would understand why that if you're a trainee and not really built to actually push through that part. You really appreciate the reason for her seriousness at the start. So that's yeah, but as I said, chemistry is one of those complicated things. As I said, the business world is not real, it's really complicated. And that's the reason why I'm saying in the episode now because I could tell you all these things, but executing, that's where the hard thing is. I can tell you all these things. I said, these are $1 billion ideas, but to execute on them, you have to execute it right, or you. That's the reason why. I can tell you just so it's not really for you, but for me, just in case I'm actually um executing on this stuff. I remember what I'm looking for. Yeah, and chemistry is one of those other stuff is very important in the business of science because you can't there needs to be proper rapport built between the team, the manager, the every person, every level. And it has to be respect as well. There have to be respect. You can't, while where they shed off the shell and they become friendly. Sometimes people when the supervisor become friendly, we get you get lackadaisical. I be like that's happening sometimes as well when I secured the place, my place, and I saw the supervisor become friendly. I saw the become somewhat lackadaisical and not lackadaisical in the fact that I was not motivated because I knew why I go there, but I was easing up. But what happened was that because the person that supervised us, um, trained us right, I was more mature. I guess it could be my maturity. I was able to accept her friendliness while being respectful to her criticism as well. And that's something that's one important part of chemistry, the chemistry aspect of the science of business, where they can be friendly with you. They don't have to be serious with you, but you know the hierarchy. You know that okay, this person is competent, so when they give me a criticism, you don't have to really take it and say okay, take it as gospel, but take it as okay, that's a criticism from someone over me. Let me internalize it and then respond accordingly, agree, get more information and stuff like that. And those stuff are important because that's important in making a competent business. So that's basically, I guess I could say more on that, but I guess that's just the basic essence for it now. Yeah, so that's basically for this episode, and look forward for next episode. Mhm. I say, yo, this episode as chemistry, it's wild. It's wild. The word chemistry is like chemistry is a perfect word when I just realized now because the meaning of it is just so you can talk you just can talk about it for a lot. That's all what chemistry is. But I guess in the future you'll hear me talking more about chemistry. As I start to solidify my place in the field. I'm not giving you a tip of the iceberg now. Yeah, so that's basically it for this episode. Now, thanks for listening and look forward for the next episode. Mhm. Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode. Word choice. Because I said I'm doing this 9 to 5. I'm talking to these people. And, one of the things that I realize is that, the words that you choose can really well, it's something that I always know. Always been told and I always know. But it it really can do a lot when you actually take the time to think about the words you're going to say and then say it correctly. Because doing this work, I get you get paid based on how well you're talking to these people, how fast you solve their problem while talking building rapport to these people and also all kind of stuff. So, but at essence, what they want to do is they wanted to solve their problem. You want the customer that you're solving the problem for to feel good while they're doing it, while they're solving their problem.